Good morning, it's Rich here. Thanks for tuning in if you have. If you haven't, maybe you can. I don't know. Anyway, what am I saying? So yesterday I rather hastily unboxed this and it was soaking wet, quite literally. It was absolutely, the condensation on it was all over the place. So I thought I'd better do just a quick follow-up. Now you'll have seen I've done 2 playing videos of it. I can't put it down, to be honest. I can't put it down, I really like it. But I thought we'd just have another quick look over it. So whilst it's now not wet and it's had 24 hours to sit and dry itself out. So the first thing I want to say is that I was talking about, are the frets polished? Now, often on Harley Bentons, when they arrive, the frets, obviously not stainless steel ones, but the frets are usually mucky and scratchy. Well, now that these are dried out a little bit more and you can see them better, I'm inclined to say that they're either polished or the nickel that they're made from is inherently quite shiny. They're certainly not dirty, and that makes a pleasant change. And when bending with them as well, they don't feel scratchy. So that is a plus, and not something I've experienced on a Harley Benton apart from a Fusion, which had stainless steel frets. So the frets they do feel polished. So I'm pleased about that. This pickup is not in its little hole straight. That's a bit annoying, but I'm not letting it bother me. And yeah, when I take the strings off, I'll see if it can be straightened up. Certainly not a big deal. The frets themselves as well, and I should check the spec. I'm fairly sure that they said these are medium frets, but they feel like jumbos to me. They are pretty chunky in truth. So if that bothers you, what's my strap to? Then that's something to note. In principle, I'm not a fan of jumbo frets. The ones on the Jackson I had, they were really big. So maybe they felt more extra jumbo-y. But yeah, so just so that you know, the frets on these, or certainly on this one anyway, are pretty big. The finish is really nice. It is completely flat. Just to say that again, it's completely flat. There is no grain feel here at all, but I really like the finish. The camera's probably not picking up very well. It looks slightly pinky there, I can see, but it's actually very dark red. It's like a crimson red, which is lovely. Now that the neck's had a chance to settle down, there are no sharp fret ends at all, and the nut is cut nicely at the top here as well. It's not sticking out either side, so that's good. We like that. The Harley Benton logo is sort of stuck on the top somehow. It sort of sits proud. Feels more like, it's not obviously engraved, but you know, it's got that kind of feel to it. So just a bit more luxury, hence deluxe series, I suppose. So that's good. One thing I still noticed when playing it is that the pickup selection, let me put a bit of volume now. So on the neck pickup, let's turn it up just a little bit so you hear a bit better. To middle, I still don't hear a huge amount of difference. There's a little bit. That's a bit. It's not as pronounced as other middle position pickup selections on a telly. That might not be important to you. It's not really to me. I never really use a middle position, in truth. But there is a good difference between the neck and the bridge, as there should be. So there's that. If I turn it back off as well, when this is played acoustically, it rings out pretty nicely. So I know the part of his body is sort of semi-chambered. It's hollow underneath here. You kind of hear that hollowness through the plastic. And that is a big cavity also for just a couple of pots. So it does have a nice amount of resonance to it. And the neck, I've got to tell you, the neck really is to die for. It's a satin finish on the back, not unfinished, but satin finish, and the net and the fretboard itself, which is baked, as they call it. It just feels really, really nice. The tuners, they all feel they have about the same level of resistance when you turn them. They're not perfect by any stretch, but they feel okay. They're not. It's not as if you've got one that's a bit notchy and one that's overly stiff. They all feel about the same. And with the tusk nut as well, I'm guessing tuning stability should be pretty good once the strings are bed in a little bit more. This switch, I said yesterday, it feels pretty sturdy. I'll take that back. It's not flimsy, but it's not great. I mean, it's working, so that's the main thing. The tone knob could do with having a little bit more graduation from bottom to top. All the way down, up a little bit. So you get a little bit at the bottom. If it was numbered 1 to 10, you get something between 0 and 3, really. Which is a little bit of a shame. And actually, the guitar geek Andy, when he reviewed one of these, his tone knob was good. It works well from bottom to top. Just one of those little things, I suppose, isn't it? The volume knob works fine though. And this is just on a clean channel. And just like any volume knob, it cleans up when you go quieter. And there are some really nice tones actually from it. Still ringing out gently. So yeah, that's my first impression. My second impression, I'm impressed actually, more so than I thought. These are £165 in the UK, which includes free shipping. So it's a mid-priced Harley Benton, and it feels like a rung up from some of the lower ones for sure. I still think my TE-52 was perhaps one of the best Harley Bentons I've had, but yeah, this I am impressed with. If you're thinking of going for something a little bit different and you want to have a go on the Megatron pickups as well, I would recommend this. It's also, whilst it's not so light it feels like a toy, it is comfortably light, and having a belly cut here, which is nice on a telly style guitar as well, it is super comfortable to play. You know, but when you've got the strap around your neck, it's not too heavy. Someone very kindly asked about the neck and having small hands. I don't have particularly big hands. I don't know if I'd call them small, but they're certainly not big. And whilst it's a 13.75 inch radius, it's quite flat, it feels like a C. I think I mentioned in my video the other day, it feels a little bit slimmer than my Fender Player Strat, so it's kind of squarish feel. Yeah, if you've got smaller hands, no big deal. Yeah, good guitar, enjoying it.